David Goggins seriously changed my life.
Not so long ago, I looked like this. And my favorite quote was literally, "Why should I run when no one chases me?" But after watching his first interview on Joe Rogan and listening to his first book, my life completely transformed. The first thing I learned from Goggins is that I need to be accountable for my life no matter what. In around 2018, I was in a weird place. The business I was building for the last 3 years was slowly dying and I felt lost. I had no goal, I had no savings, and my life was honestly quite empty. And if I didn't want to end up like a loser, something needed to change. And that was the first time when I really held myself accountable. And that leads me to the second lesson from Goggins. I needed to learn how to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. The thing is, change always hurts. It's easier to postpone the change instead of actually making it. But in 2018, I reached a point when the pain of making the change was actually lesser than the pain of staying in my situation. And that's when my transformation started. I started searching for different challenges, I joined the gym, and I even found a personal trainer. And the things I would normally consider impossible, like running 10K in one go, became possible for the first time. I started becoming comfortable in the uncomfortable. And as Goggins would say, I started callousing my mind. And although it was a huge progress from this, there was still one problem. I still kept cutting corners. Because my comfort threshold was so low, I always gave up too early and I didn't give it my all. I was going to the gym, but sometimes I skipped the day. And when I was in the gym, maybe I didn't complete all exercises because I thought that I'm tired. Well, that's before I understood the 40% rule. Goggins says that when you think you're done, you're only 40% into what you're capable of doing. And that changed my approach to everything. Not just sports, but business, relationships, studying, everything. And if you want to stay hard, subscribe! Just think about it. Whenever you do something difficult like running, lifting weights, sweating in the sauna, you often reach the point when you're like, I'm done. And that's your mind telling you to stop at your 40%. And once I realized this, I learned how to silence that inner voice and actually give 5 to 10% more to push through and finish. And it is so important to do, because if you keep cutting corners, you're undermining your self-worth and confidence because you're simply not keeping the promises you make to yourself. But even if you do it right, even if you push 5 to 10% more, there's one thing that you simply must accept. And it is quite difficult. Well, for me it was. And that is that you will feel alone. And yes, it can be frustrating. Your family might not understand you, your friends might not understand you. But after I realized that they're reacting like this because of them and their own insecurities, it helped. Because as long as I know why I'm doing it, that's really all that matters. I even somewhat became proud of all the weird stuff that I'm doing, like running at 3 a.m. in the morning, exercising in snowstorm. There's something about that feeling that you're doing the things that no one else is willing to do. And unlike the race I finished last year, the best thing about pushing yourself beyond your limits is that there's no finish line. It literally never ends. Doing uncomfortable things actually became my source of happiness. Not the vacations, not the stuff, not playing video games. It was literally about searching for the next challenge that will actually get me closer to my limits or beyond. And the thing that really tested my limits was the challenge by David Goggins himself. 4x4x48. The goal was to literally run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. And I actually recorded video from doing this challenge, so you can watch it here. Almost 2 full marathons. Crazy.